out of college, I worked IT corporate for about 3 years, and I was just like really unhappy. And I actually wasn't even good at my job. That was like on the exit interview. I was like, I don't feel like I'm helping you guys out. Yeah, we agree. Yeah. I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just all about, being the investor, how to make money work for you. Ended up buying a house and flipping it, convincing my brother to go in with me, and we partnered that, and it was a very simple deal, but it just like clicked for me.
CJ, it is good to be back, and today I think we have probably the sexiest mullet in Pensacola.
The sexiest mullet in Pensacola, Mr. Mike, the mullet man, Hamby.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us on the Yapaholics podcast today. For those of anyone that doesn't know who you are, tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so thanks for having me, guys. It's always a joy hanging out with you. So I'm a real estate investor. I flip single family houses. So we send out marketing to distressed situations, foreclosure is like the easiest example I can give, but it's really anything. If someone needs to turn their house into cash quickly, that's why they would call me. But I'm also a real estate agent, so we also offer that option as well. If they can wait a little longer, we can make them more money that way. So.
Love that. Love that. And we can get to business in just a second here, but we like to do a pour on this podcast. And you chose today Maker's Mark. So let's do a little bit of a taste here.
Little
and
fun tip. Matt,
even a little rating.
Yeah, Matt really likes Maker's Mark. It's one of his favorites.
I do. I really like Makers and Old Fashions.
Yeah.
Old Fashioned is my go-to drink, and Makers makes a good one. So
that's a staple for sure. What are you guys drinking?
Makers. We're drinking it with
the
you.
same thing.
Yep.
Everybody's
Always.
Makers.
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody on the same train.
That's right.
It's just smooth. That's classic.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that at all. Oh, it gets you feeling warm inside. I like it. You know what I'm saying? Probably not my favorite because I do like it more of a in a drink that has other things in it.
You like it more of a cocktail.
I'll probably go with a 7.7 for mine. What would you rate Makers?
I'd give it an 8. It's
an
like
8?
a perfect staple. It's reliable. But a funny story. I was at a wedding in the Carolinas, and I don't even think this is what it's called, but they called this drink. It was bourbon and ginger ale with a lime.
Oh yeah,
and they called it a King David. I think they just made up the name.
Yeah,
but so I do it all the time. I'll go to the bars, but I'll have a King David.
No.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Nobody knows what it is.
And then you have to explain to them what you're talking about.
You have to tell them how to make the drink.
Yeah,
that's
so,
sick.
So that's gonna be my drink. We're doing like a groom drink, and then Rana will have the bride drink for our wedding.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your wedding is coming up very shortly.
Shout out to Mike and Rana. Y'all are getting married very, very,
congratulations.
very soon.
A little toast there. Toast.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, the love of my life.
By the time this airs, it'll be very, very soon.
Very, very soon. Yeah, absolutely.
Congrats to the both of you.
Thanks,
we wish
guys.
you the best. We'll see you there.
Yeah.
You'll be there.
Yeah.
Thanks for
I can't
inviting
wait.
us.
It's gonna be fun, and I love weddings, dude. Weddings are so much fun.
Matt has a good time at weddings. I've got some videos of him at past weddings he's attended. He steals the thunder on the dance floor for sure.
You're not wrong, but we don't have to spoil too much of that for you, Mike, since you will be able to get to see some of that. So let's talk a little bit more about your business and what you do.
Yeah, sure.
So what made you get into this investor side of real estate instead of, I know that you said that you don't like being the actual agent side of things. What made you passionate about flipping houses or just investing in general?
Yeah, so out of college, I worked IT corporate for about 3 years, and I was just like really unhappy. And I actually wasn't even good at my job. That was like on the exit interview. I was like, I don't feel like I'm helping you guys out. Yeah, we agree. Yeah. But I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just all about, being the investor, how to make money work for you. So that was like the book that changed my life. And then ended up buying a house and flipping it, convincing my brother to go in with me, and we partnered that. And it was a very simple deal, but it just like clicked for me. And so my goal was always to flip houses. The real estate agent license was just a means to an end. So I got my license before I quit my job, my IT job, and I just represented investors.
No.
I
Yeah.
wasn't going for like the family selling their house. You know, of course I'd take that listing, but I just wanted to help investors find properties and in turn learn from them. Like,
Yeah.
how do they analyze a property so I can do it myself?
Yeah, that's very interesting. And one thing people may think when they hear like you flipping properties is that we're your standard residential real estate agents, right? You hold the license, but you try not to at least do the job we do, right? You're strictly on the flipping and the investing side. So we're in two completely different worlds when
Mhm.
it comes to real estate majority of the time. With Are you buying just specifically here in Pensacola, or are you reaching out to like our greater Pensacola area?
Yeah, I do Escambia and Santa Rosa County.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's as far as I go though.
Sure.
I've done Alabama. I've always been interested in Destin, just never done a deal over there. But
right.
when it's above 45 minutes, I have to like recreate all the operations.
Yeah.
I got to find a different contractor. I personally don't want to drive an hour to check on a property.
Right.
So for me, in my style, I'm very hands-on. I meet sellers in person. You know, I check in with my contractors in person. So anything further than 45 minutes is just not interesting to me. So I sold my last rental in Ohio like 3 years living into Pensacola because it's just a huge hassle. Like
Being
I
far
had
away.
maintenance and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even know anybody in Ohio anymore. So it's gotta like restart the operations. you
What
know?
brought you from Ohio to Pensacola?
It was country music and the beach.
Right on.
So
That's a
Love
great
that.
combination we
Oh,
have. Yeah.
yeah. So when I was looking around for a place to live, 2019, I moved to Texas for like 9 months, and
That's also a good place.
I worked for an investor, just doing whatever I could for him, and then COVID hit. So I went back to Ohio, flipped a few more houses for a year, and I was like, the world is my oyster. Where would I want to live? And so I really looked at the map and kind of analyzed it from a logical and personal approach. And Pensacola beat out like 7 other cities that I looked at. So.
That's crazy. I mean, where in your research did Pensacola even pop up? Like when people think of Florida, most people don't think of the Panhandle right away.
Yeah.
So were you looking at a city that was possibly close to here that brought you over towards the Pensacola area, or did it just pop up in your research and happen to catch your eye?
So I'd actually never heard of Pensacola prior.
Most people
to,
haven't.
Yeah.
prior to research. So
Yeah.
I filtered. I wanted a city on the coast, Atlantic or the Gulf. It didn't have to be Florida,
Right.
And I wanted the population to be under 500,000, and then I wanted country music. So you know, after visiting cities like on the Atlantic coast, I was like, I really have to be up in the Carolinas to get that country music. So that kind of cut it off Florida. But Pensacola, you know, our population is like 300,000 in Escambia. You know, then you add Santa Rosa. So it was a good fit. And when I visited it, no joke, just the fact that we had Floribama, like,
Oh, yeah,
sealed the deal
right
for
on.
me.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, this bar is legendary.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I didn't know Kenny Chesney like sings about this.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Shout out Floribama. It's a great time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an incredible experience.
Yeah.
You have a night every time you go. It's a different kind of night every time.
And it's funny I say that was a big factor for me, but I've been probably 5 times.
Yeah.
Since I've
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't need to go often
Yeah.
because every time
Yeah,
you go,
literally.
it's probably another story that you could tell.
Yeah.
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 I think I go like once a year.
Yeah. Mullet toss, maybe the rodeo.
That's right.
There you
Big
go.
events.
Yeah. Do you get free entry to the mullet toss with the mullet that you have?
I'm like, hey, do you know who I am?
Yeah, right.
yeah.
Yeah. They just bow in, let me in.
Yeah, that's right. With you flipping houses, you're doing it obviously as a full-time career. Sticking mainly to the Pensacola area. What area or part of town are you seeing the most movement in at the moment?
So I'm personally very bullish about the downtown area.
Yeah.
We just reset our entire marketing campaigns between direct mail and online, and we're just focusing on about 6 zip codes. I would go anywhere,
Of course.
if the numbers make sense. But for me, I just see Pensacola, like you compare Pensacola to Fort Walton, like we have the same architecture,
Mhm.
Yep.
but Fort Walton is like that 1,200 square foot house sells for like $100,000 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I see the appreciation potential, and I think it's going to happen downtown Pensacola first.
Well, they're trying their best to lift up the downtown Pensacola. Right,
Yeah.
we just had the new downtown open. They're bringing areas, bringing things to the outside of the downtown area that's still downtown, making it walkable. You have the historic district. It's gonna grow. It's just a matter of the timing of everything. And if you can get in early, that's great for you.
Yeah. We visited St. Pete. I got a buddy who lives there, and it feels the same as Pensacola, but like 20 years in advance.
Sure.
Right.
So it's like you can kind of see the direction it's going.
I have a lot of buyers whenever they're deciding where to live when they're out of state. They always visit here in Pensacola and St. Pete.
Mhm.
Those are the two places they go. And then majority of the time they choose Pensacola because it's got the small hometown feel, doesn't feel like the bigger city. I'm like, well, that's a great place for you to live. I'd love to help you, but that's where we're headed.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say maybe as big as St. Pete, but
Right.
it feels like the growth we're having is similar to that area.
And I tell you what, man, every time Ryan and I leave town, it's like, even if it's just for a weekend, it's like Saturday, like, man, we wish we were in Pensacola.
Yeah,
Right.
No place like home.
There's truly no place like home.
I mean,
These
And
are
it's such
amazing.
a great place to come back to.
Yeah.
yeah, we've asked many a guest, and we've said it ourselves. I think maybe 5 days is like the most for me, and then I'm like, man, I'm ready to be home. And then I get home, I'm like, there's truly no place like home
Yeah.
at all. Like, there's nothing like the area that we have. We have everything you could ever want.
Yeah.
Anything you're interested in doing, our little area provides it.
I always say it's like the small town feel, but just big enough to do everything a big city has to offer,
Yeah, for
So-
sure. Well, as far as the flip side of things, do you have a house that you are most proud of from bringing back from death, essentially?
Nothing is really sticking out to me. There's been a lot of incredible transformations that we've done. Probably one that means a lot to me was this duplex I did on Chase Street. It's between C and D Street,
Mm-hmm.
so right in that ABC soup that a lot of locals know.
Yeah.
And I bought this house probably like in 2021, so I was like 1 year living in Pensacola. It's been 1 year, but it took me like 3 years to complete the project. I had to let some contractors go and kind of reset the project. And that for me was a big testimony, because like the first house I flipped in Pensacola, I was in a rough neighborhood.
Right.
Then I moved to like a nice townhome kind of close to the water, but I always wanted to live downtown. So for me, I moved into that duplex, 2023. I was like, oh, I made it. I worked from the bottom up to the top, in my point of view for Pensacola. So
That's awesome.
And
Man.
then you're house hacking, the duplex, you're renting out the one side, living in the other.
exactly.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's
Yeah.
super smart move. What is one thing that maybe Pensacola in itself, or like the people that work here, your contractors or something, has taught you that, that was a surprise, or you didn't have in Ohio, or anywhere else that you've been flipping?
When I first moved here, I was pretty shocked by how much the insurance companies run the show.
Yeah.
I joke with sellers now, like, I just work for the insurance company. I do what they
Literally.
tell me to do.
Yeah.
So I was so argumentative when I had to submit the 4-point inspection to them.
Yep.
And
They
they'd
would
be
tell
like,
you
"Hey,
something's wrong."
Can you replace this pipe?" I was like, "No, why would I do that for you? The buyer didn't ask me that."
Right. Yep.
So that was a big wake up call, and it kind of hit me hard. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to add to my rehab budget just for the insurance company.
Yeah.
But now it's a tool. It's leverage, really.
Yep.
Because if somebody's selling their house, they have to bring it up to those standards so the next buyer can get a loan.
Yeah, they got to do it anyways.
Otherwise, they have to sell to a cash investor like me.
Right.
So now it's an advantage.
You use it. Yeah, you use it. You've got to do the work, or they've got to do the work anyways. And they probably don't have the time, resources available to do the work. So,
and if they sold to me or somebody else, it's going to be a cash investor, and cash investors like to have a return on their investment.
Right.
So it's going to
Makes
be a
sense.
discount.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and it's usually in the condition where in that case with the insurance, it needs to work, right? Whether
Yeah.
it be electrical or plumbing, or you need a new roof, or an HVAC needs to be replaced. Anything that you've seen on the jobs that surprised you, that you didn't think was originally budgeted for, and then you got into it, maybe a layout change that you thought you were going to do?
Yeah, it happens all the time with flipping houses, and that's kind of the conversation I have with my new builder investors. They're like, I don't know how you do it, but we really have to. I have a 10% variance budget
Oh,
of
smart.
just unforeseen things,
Yeah.
and it's a difficult conversation to have. It's like, I'm showing the sellers, hey, I got an $80,000 budget, but I'm going to budget an extra $8,000 just in case. But that lowers their offer price by $8,000, so it's tough, but it's the way I have to do it to safeguard my investment, because every time, always over budget.
No.
It's like without fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely. That seems to be the trend with just about anything in life. You try to stay within budget for something, and then you blink, and then you're quickly over budget.
Well, it's hard to prepare for the things you can't see in a house, right?
Mhm.
You can, you said you're hands on, so you visit a lot of these houses beforehand.
yeah.
It's hard. You can't see what's behind every wall. You know what I'm saying? You can't see what's under the house always. I mean, sometimes you can, but
Yeah.
so I get how you could possibly be over budget on a lot of projects, because you don't know what could go wrong. And then, not to mention, what if a worker messes up, like
Mhm.
that's another added cost to everything.
So everybody's heard the saying, shit happens.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
Facts.
literally.
my 7th grade basketball coach added on to that. He said, shit happens hourly. And so
Yeah.
SHH, that's what we say around the office. It's like just waiting for that phone to ring, like, oh, what happened today?
Yep. Yeah, when the phone rings from that certain person, it's
Yeah.
never good news.
I'd rather not hear from you.
Yeah, right. Today's not the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They ask how you're doing. You're like, I would be better if you weren't calling me, because I know you only call me for
Yeah,
this
what's wrong?
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
For those that don't know the way your process works, Mike, you have I don't even know if pamphlet's the right word, but you have a whole like detailed deck that you go through with the sellers on
Mhm.
exactly the breakdown of the cost and everything. Do you have many objections with the sellers when you're able to book the appointment and sit in front of them and explain the entire process of the condition of what their current house is in?
Yeah, absolutely. And I start that at the beginning of my appointment. It's like the first thing I say is, I offer time and convenience in exchange for a discounted sale. So what that means is, I'm going to buy as is. We're going to close in 3 weeks. It'll be an easy process for you, but it comes at a discount. So for me to make profit, I have to be at a lower price. And, I always say, if you can do things cheaper than I can, go for it.
Right.
I'm happy to encourage you there. And, my fiance is a real estate agent. We'll list for you after. So my presentation is, shout out to Keller Williams and Preston Murphy for helping me figure this out. That's something I changed last year when I joined Keller Williams. But I just show all my numbers.
Right.
My
Transparency.
This is my 50-page or 15 line items that I'm gonna invest in your house. This is what I pay on average. If you can do a roof cheaper, more power to you. But this is what I'm estimating. So yeah, they always balk, and they always want more, as they should.
Yeah.
I would expect them to. I just have to stay true to my numbers, and my private money lenders need a guaranteed return, so I can't lose. If I lose, then it comes out of my pocket.
Yeah.
My investors
And
will
we
never lose.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we don't
Right.
want you losing money, right?
Yeah.
And so you're not necessarily having any objections outside of price, right? Like they understand when you have the break down the line items that yes, all of this needs to be work. We have a trend on this podcast. Cheaper doesn't always mean better.
Mhm.
The likelihood of them finding it cheaper than you is probably very unlikely.
Mhm.
But do you have anybody saying, "Oh, well, this doesn't need to be replaced,"
Oh, yeah.
or you don't need to do that?
So right before I go into my line items that I review with them, I have a page that says this is everything that an insurance company will require.
Oh, smart.
So I know, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, that your furnace works. but it's 25 years old.
Right.
I have to replace it.
Yeah.
It's not an option.
Just because it's blowing cold doesn't
And
mean anything.
It pains me because
Yeah.
like as a landlord, I'm like, I'm not gonna fix something that's not broken.
Right.
You know, but if I have to sell it, I have to update it.
Yeah. And to double down on that, they're gonna more than likely 99% of the time gonna have to replace it before they sell anyway.
Yeah.
So like they may not realize it, because the arguments I hear on my side of things is, well, I already have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
It works. It's never leaked. It's never broke. It's, it's in fine condition, but it's the new owner, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be able to obtain the insurance. How do you overcome that objection?
I just go into the details. I'd say, imagine if the new buyer has to get an insurance policy that costs twice as much as yours, now their offer price has to be lower, so
That makes sense.
You're paying for it one way or the other.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, there's ways around it. If that's the only thing that needed fixed, the seller could pay for it at the closing, if they don't have the cash.
Right.
So happy to problem solve through those scenarios.
Right.
At the end of the day, I feel more like a consultant with the sellers. Like, yeah, I'd like to buy the house, but if they need to go with a real estate agent, I'm going to refer them, so that whatever helps them move along, that I feel like I've done my duty.
And now you can refer them and it all stays in house.
That's right.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a good feeling for you.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it comes to your appointments, are you finding that you get more like I'll think about it than you do just straight up like let's go ahead and do this, and then they come back to you later? Or like what's that timeline look like? Do you have people that usually have to sit on it for a little while and really kind of come to terms with the amount that you're offering them?
Mm-hmm. So right before I give them my offer, I let them know like, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we've gone through everything that you're going through right now. It's okay if the answer is no. Just tell me no. But what I wouldn't want you to do is tell me you need to think about it when you actually mean no. Most people think they're being polite and just tell me they think about it, and then they never talk to me again. So I'd like to save us both time. And if there's something, we can talk through further, let's have that conversation. But my offers are good for 24 hours. If there's some kind of something you need to talk about, like we can extend that. If you need to call your uncle or talk it over with them, let's have that conversation first and go from there. So it's just something. When I was a home investor franchise, we always do these upfront contracts. It's like you're setting the rules of the game.
Yeah.
So it's like when I walk in the appointment, before I give the offer, just setting out the rules so they don't do something that's gonna time suck for me.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and helps you control the conversation and everything a little bit better.
And say that all that, and it still happens.
Of course.
But I did everything I could, and sometimes they do just need to sleep on it, and I would too if I thought my house was worth X and I got an offer for a lot lower.
Yeah.
That's gonna stink.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the people you're targeting though are mainly the distressed sellers who probably need to get out from under the house anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably, with some of them, does take that 24 hours to really think it over, to weigh the pros and cons of the outcome for what it is. If you take the offer, like your offer, or should they go the traditional route and maybe wait 90 days, 120 days, the condition of the house, even longer than that. I don't know if people really take into consideration what all that entails when they want to list their house versus you can be done in 3 weeks.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy whenever I look back and, like last year, I was offering cash and listing at the same time. And a couple sellers took me up on the listing, and like what I projected it to sell for,
it sold for.
Maybe they made 5-10 more than that.
Right.
But it's like, it
the
took
time.
5 months.
Yeah.
What could you have done with 80 grand in 5 months?
Right.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, they wanted to give it a shot. And who am I? Maybe you get lucky. I can only look at data. So,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's almost like I tell my sellers this all the time. it's almost like we do this for a living and we
Mhm.
have the data at our hands, and I almost know what I'm talking about. Like if you just trust the process,
Mhm.
we can get very close, to these numbers based on all the data I have. Unless it's a unicorn, like you said, you never know.
Right.
There may be one out, out of every few that that may make a little bit more, but typically it's always within a very close range of the projections that we give.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy
100%.
how that works.
Well, listen, we could probably talk about house flipping all day and selling houses all day. But one of the things that we like to do on this podcast is keep it local, right?
Mhm.
You have probably been the newest like local that we've had on the podcast so far, like not being here for as long, right?
Oh yeah.
So in your time here, what has like really attracted you to this space outside of the reasons you've moved here? What has like kept you locked into this space for so long, and do you see yourself wanting to leave?
Like the real estate investing space?
No. The
Like
the
Pensacola.
Panhandle,
Yeah,
Pensacola
our area.
Pensacola.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it. I mean, it's the people,
Yep.
It's that southern charm, hospitality, Bible Belt.
Yep.
So it really feels like home, and Rand and I talk like this is our home base. We want to do a lot of traveling, but it's affordable to live here, and we have a lot of connections. It feels comfortable, so we'll do our traveling out from here.
Yeah,
So.
I love that. Do you have any places that you prefer to visit around the area, or any events that you like to attend that you would recommend to anybody moving to the area?
Well, definitely the mullet toss.
Yep.
For sure.
But run, roast, and refresh.
Yep.
Oh man,
It
that
happens
is-
It's
monthly.
fun, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
once a month on a Saturday. I can't remember which weekend, but it's a monthly event that happens in our area.
Yeah, it's always on Saturdays, but it's so much fun. I've only been once, but the one time that I went, it was a blast.
Mhm.
And they rotate locations every month, so you're never in the same location. So it's something new each time. That's also a newer event that's recently been started, probably within the last year
Yeah.
or so,
Yeah.
I would say. But it's gaining great traction. It's for people that you can work out, you can walk, you can run. There's plenty of stuff afterwards to do. It's an overall good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do,
I,
do,
I,
do
I
you like
agree.
running?
I do. So that's actually how I met Rihanna.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a 5K every Wednesday downtown Pensacola, and that's where we met. just a
That's the
couple
one
years
at
ago.
200 South.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's usually 120, 100 people there. So great turnout. And then we go over to we got a group of friends. We'll go over and get 50-cent wings at Five Sisters. So
Oh,
Nice.
yeah,
Oh.
it's a good night.
speaking of food,
I knew this was coming.
give me your top 3 restaurants of our area. Rapid fire. Don't think about it.
Oh, Pearl and Horn.
Okay.
Waco.
Oh yeah,
all you can
underrated.
Oh, I love
Matt,
it.
You're speaking Matt's
Yes,
language
dude.
now.
Guys, so Rand and I do this all the time. We're like trying to figure out where we're gonna eat, and it just defaults to Waco.
Dude,
Like,
Waco is the best.
spend $30 and you get all you can eat sushi. Get out of here.
Yeah. And it's not bad sushi either. Like it's not bad sushi at all.
No, the dancing jalapeno roll.
That's
is the
my
jam.
favorite. It's my favorite. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that one. Okay, that's 2. You got one more. I know I cut you off there because Waco fires me up, but
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, probably something on the beach. Casino Beach Bar is just a great hangout spot. I like their lounge chairs. If you spend like $40, you're allowed to eat on those lounge chairs.
yeah,
So
that's awesome.
it's a good day right there.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like there was something outside of food that I was gonna. Oh, actually, I remembered something that we didn't bring up. I know you said you like running, but you're also a boxer.
Oh yeah.
Former,
Right?
Yeah.
retired,
Oh, you're retired now.
retired on the win, right?
Yeah, for now. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
KO.
wow. Oh, tell us how that journey was.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to get into boxing.
Yeah.
And it was just like a matter of trying to find somebody to train that would train me.
Yeah.
And my inspiration for training is I knew I'd have a beautiful wife,
Oh yeah.
and if anybody were to ever try to touch her inappropriately, I'd be able to defend her honor. So that is my motivation, and I've ended up finding a trainer on Facebook. He has a little gym on the west side, and he had like 6 guys training, and we ended up getting really close. It's JT, and he actually does landscaping and drunk removal and all kinds of stuff for me now to this day. But yeah, I've had 11 fights. You know, I always did these what's it called, tough man competitions, which is wild. It's like last man standing. You just
that
keep
sounds
fighting
insane. Yeah.
until you win the belt or
Lord.
you lose.
Yeah.
So I think I made it to third place one night, and I did a couple times where I'd have 3 fights in one night.
Wow.
And
God.
it's brutal.
That's crazy.
I can't even imagine
That's
doing
nuts.
one fight, much less 3 fights in one night.
That's
Yeah.
That's
It's
kind of
like
crazy.
gladiator cage,
Yeah.
out in Biloxi, Mississippi. So
Yeah.
make a weekend out of it, hang out at the Hard Rock
Yeah.
Casino after. So.
Gamble a little bit.
I'm
enjoy
not much
the
of a
pool.
gambler, more of a pool guy.
Yeah.
So.
Their pools are nice in Biloxi. All the hotels are
Yeah.
great. Yeah, you can't go wrong. The food
Yeah.
at the buffets are incredible. You picked a great city to box in, though. You know, we're pretty known the Pensacola area for boxing.
Oh yeah, what's it called? Fight Island or something?
Nah,
Fight Fights.
The one guy, I don't know if you've heard of him, but Roy Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a pretty big guy around this place.
So I was lucky enough to train over at Roy Jones.
Wow.
And we sparred with some of his guys.
Yeah.
And the dude jabbed me. The hardest I've ever been hit in my life.
Yeah.
Just a jab, a little flick.
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
where did that even come from? And I'm like knocked out. But
That's so cool, though.
Yeah.
What was that impact for you? Like getting in front of the people, you know, you're not from here, but the name means so much to the city. You know, he still lives here. He's still local. You see him at, you know, a ton of events. What did that mean to be able to train at his place?
I was really honored, and like I felt so special. Like, you know, why us?
Right.
You know, but I mean, maybe we were just cannon fodder to get beat up, but you know, it's still just cool to be in his presence and see his gym operation. And everybody was so nice, you know, very welcoming, and that says a lot. You know, it's like they don't have to do that. So
Was he around when you were training?
yeah, he was there coaching the guys.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. And then, you know, while we were sparring, he's giving his guy tips. And then after, shook his hand and got to chat a little bit. So,
Yeah, that's sick.
yeah.
You can get a little bit of inside info.
I was about
from-
to say, did you pick up some tips from what he was telling them?
I can't remember now. It's been a few years.
Right.
But yeah, it's just a good time. He's got a cool setup. He's got a ring in like this warehouse. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's so sick. I'm just so happy to hear that, like, after all these years, he's still active, especially in our community, but within the boxing scene that he made us known for. That's so cool to me.
yeah.
That's
absolutely.
so cool to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember growing up watching his fights and just like going all out. We'd have big parties for all of his fights and stuff. It was a super cool experience. So it's awesome to know that he's still super involved in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you think you're going to be on pause for boxing for?
I don't know. I think it's a matter of like, if I'm in shape, there's just really like nothing holding me back from taking on a fight.
Sure.
'Cause it's like, it's not even amateur, you know, it's just like, who wants to fight? You
Right.
Sign up, sign this waiver. All right, you're good.
Yeah.
But like 2 years ago, I saw like a random fight on Pensacola Beach, and it was like a similar setup, and like I almost did it. It was like 10 days notice. I was like, so if I'm in shape, it's gonna be hard to say no.
Are you're staying in fighting shape and boxing shape?
Currently not.
Okay.
but
Okay. I hear you.
For the wedding.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe afterwards, maybe after the honeymoon.
Well, it's like I know boxing gets me in shape,
Right.
so to like train for boxing, now I'm already trained up. Like I'm back in the fighting shape and boxing and sparring a little bit. So it's like it'd be hard to say no.
Mm.
Yeah. I
How
love
much
that.
notice do you think you need? How many weeks of camp for you to say yes?
I think I could probably like change my probably 8 weeks. Actually, when I first got into it, it was a matter of under 12 weeks I had my first fight. So
Wow.
it was like
Wow.
go from like not knowing how to fight anyone to like just getting obliterated the first 2 weeks. My trainer JT, you know, God love him, is like he taught me how to defend by punching me in the stomach while we're sparring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, you're gonna defend that now, and after the like,
Yeah,
the
you don't wanna
fifth
do
time
that.
I'm on the floor. I'm like, all right, I'll defend it now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once you learn, I feel like you can learn how to fight in 30 days, and then it was just a matter of like refining a little bit,
Yeah.
and really breaking the nerves to do the first fight. So
Right.
yeah, it happened pretty quickly,
That's pretty impressive. Not gonna lie.
and then it's
I
just like
agree.
the best adrenaline rush.
Oh,
ever.
I can only imagine.
You
Do you
know?
find yourself wanting to chase that adrenaline more times than not?
I feel like I am an adrenaline junkie. You know, even in being in real estate sales,
Yeah.
there's that little bit of high.
Oh, yeah.
that,
Oh,
like, when that
100%.
seller
Oh, yeah.
says
Every
yes,
close.
yeah.
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 Yeah, once you've like got the signature on the paper, you're
Yeah.
like, let's go.
You're walking out the house as soon as the door closes.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we're hunters. You
Yeah.
eat what you kill.
that's right.
So,
Right.
That's so true.
yeah.
Right. Well, listen, man, it's been awesome talking to you, and I'm sure we could do 3 more episodes all at one time here. But for now, we'll end it here, and maybe we'll have you on another day. Okay.
Yeah,
We'll
sounds
have you
good.
on after the honeymoon. You can give us some ideas of what all of y'all have done so far.
Yeah.
See if some food places have changed. We'll see.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Well, if you are in the Pensacola area and you are trying to get out of a house quickly, we know a guy and we can get you over to him. And if you're trying to move to the area, hit up yapaholics.podcast.com, fill out that form. Me and CJ can help you out. And until next time.
We'll yap you later.